My name is Nicholas Ashbaugh. Welcome to the weekly collective reading. We're going to be taking a look at, of course, this week ahead, and we do it in the following way. First and foremost, we're going to move into some channeled messages. And this is coming straight from Spirit, so I'll share that with you in just a moment. After that, we'll go into an elemental breakdown, actually 7-day forecast elemental breakdown. And then today you chose a really great special topic, which is mirror ball, looking at the situation from a new perspective. And if we have a little bit of extra time and if there's interest, we can also look at the second runner-up, which was to basically release some anchors. So there's a little target icon. Let me know if that's something you're interested in. You can show some support with that. Otherwise, we got a lot to talk about, so let's go straight into channel messages for today. So what I picked up on this morning was the image of a dragon. And whenever dragon energy comes through, absolutely this is about solar plexus and voice. Basically bringing that fire from the belly into the throat chakra, speaking up, saying what needs to be said, and doing what needs to be done. And so consider this a week of activation. We still are in the throes of Mercury retrograde, so this is like one of your last and final chances to resolve any conflict, any unfinished business, and to push back, to speak up when and if necessary. And the other thing that I'm getting with this is when I think of fire, I think of passion, I think of ideas, like the suit of wands. A lot of times you'll see dragons in that suit as well. So this is a chance to also take an idea and really start to, breathe life into it. So if there's been any procrastination, I know that for a couple of the dailies, the sort of theme of procrastination has come through from time to time. But if there's any procrastination, now is a time to say, what am I waiting for? And so as we go into the reading today, I'm going to look for any places where that stagnation may exist. That was one of the reasons that I did put anchors as one of the potential topics. So again, hopefully we'll get an extra 15 to 20 minutes at the end of this to also look at that. But in the meantime, why don't we begin? There's so much to talk about, folks. Okay, so we're going to begin here with a 7-day forecast, helping you navigate twists, turns, and opportunities in this week ahead. So welcome, everyone. Good to see you. Let's see what I want to do. I think I'm going to use the Universal Celtic because there were a bunch of comments when I used it for some of the dailies that you guys were liking this. So here we go. And again, apologies that countdown didn't go live. I was wondering why my iPad wasn't showing anything. I'm like, is there something wrong? Yes, there is. It's always good to have a monitor on the side. All right, folks, close your eyes for a moment. I see a beautiful circle of light around your body. If you need some help visualizing that, imagine that the sun is shining down and you can see one ray of light shining just on you. Okay, let's see what this week has in store for us. Interesting that we have a bunch of days where there's a couple of sort of like tug of war themes that are coming forth. So let's break it down. Okay, we're going to begin first with the energy of today. We have 2 cards. The presenting energy is that of the devil, but right beneath the devil we have Queen of Pentacles, which is good. Let's talk about the devil first, even if we don't want to. So interestingly enough, we have the theme of feeling stuck, feeling trapped, or having something in front of us where we want to say yes, but there are strings attached. There's always room for improvement when we pull the devil card, particularly if it's an opportunity, a project, a contract. There's something beneath the surface that needs to come forth. Don't be afraid to articulate what maybe everyone else in the room is thinking. This is your chance to, first of all, to resolve something, but also to be the voice of reason if necessary. If something or someone in your life can't give you what you want or need, there is something better waiting. And this is a day where you might want to just focus on yourself and what you need. And it's not always easy because this is also the universal mothering card in the minor arcana, very much like the Empress energy. And what happens sometimes is she is used to providing, supporting, and nurturing everyone else in her life. And so in this moment in time, it's really important to do that for yourself. By the way, look who just joined us. So if you are constantly focusing on everything and everyone else, today is a day to really pull it together and make sure that you're getting what you need out of the equation. And no strings attached. Unconditional love. If someone's constantly pushing those strings out there, they're not really interested in what you have to offer, and you deserve more, okay? So for this Sunday, you're standing up for yourself. You're getting on top of your money and your schedule for this week ahead. If there's something, again, that has been on your back burner and you've been procrastinating for a while, now's the time to pick up the slack and make it happen. Likewise, if there's someone else in your life that isn't doing that, you might have to do the same. But the daily, I was talking a little bit about, it's kind of like the old Sting and Police song, if you love someone, set them free. And then he just keeps saying, set them free. But that is unconditional love, giving people the room to spread their wings. And if there is someone in your life that won't give you the room to spread your wings, tying it into today's message, then it isn't what you thought it was. And we don't ever want to ignore energy of the devil. It comes through to basically show us there's something better, and that's probably why you chose Mirror Ball over Releasing Anchors, although this card kind of comprises both messages. Okay, I love what's coming through for Monday. We have the energy of the Star, ostensibly one of the best cards. I love the Star, I love the Sun. They're birds of a feather. Both of them are actually stars. We just call our closest one the Sun. So what is the Star about? It's about stepping into your power, very much dragon energy. It's about connecting to your path. It's one of the most source-aligned cards that you can get. And so if there's something that you want to create, launch, announce, or do, I would say second only to maybe the World card, this is very much putting you in the spotlight and allowing you to expand. And speaking of that spotlight energy, one of the things that we can associate with the Star is visibility. You're not going, even when it's behind clouds, there's still light. The Star never really hides. It's not an inconspicuous card, it's conspicuous. So whether or not you're ready, whether or not you want to, it feels like you're being thrust into motion, into movement, into opportunity. That being said, here are some things that you can do that really embrace the energy of the Star. If you have a presentation, an announcement, or anything that you want to bring to other people's attention, this is one of the most charismatic, effective, and auspicious cards that you can get. Monday looks good, folks. Retrograde or not, you can get a lot done. So this is the day to set it into motion. I can say with a decent amount of confidence it's the best card of the week. So let's do something important tomorrow, okay? We're starting something new. Even if it's just energetically in your mind deciding, I want to do this, I don't want to do that, I can start to see much of the movement happening right here, right now, okay? All right. The next message here, as we're looking at the energy of Tuesday, is the Fool, all right? So now is a day to release any sort of preconceived notions, any sort of fear, any anxiety. The Fool walks forward with very little in their knapsack. I'm going to pull the traditional one, as much as I love that illustration. It doesn't really tell the story as much as this one. So if we look at your traditional Rider-Waite-Smith card, notice how he has the lightest of backpacks or knapsacks with him. He's basically just carrying his thoughts with him, like an idea, one spark, one focal point. No sort of emotional baggage. So all this stuff here, where someone in your life could also be gaslighting you. You can't do this. You don't have what it takes. The Fool's coming through and saying, just watch me. And I also am willing to call my own bluff and walk away from something that isn't good enough. There's got to be something else out there. Tuesday is a great day to explore new opportunities. It's a great day to let go, to release a person, place, or thing that's coming through and making you feel stuck. It's a great day to just have some fun and take a trip. This is one of the most carefree cards, most childlike cards, maybe next to the Six of Cups or something like that. But this is a good day to just sort of clear your mind. It is also an opportunity to step into something new. The Fool is less sort of like, it's not kind of holding on to all of it. Like, so Page of Pentacles, he's very much focusing on that coin in front of him. Where the Fool's like, why don't we just try this? Let's take a step. Let's get it started. So this is a day of beginnings, renewal, and not carrying with you too much from the past. I do like that we have a rainbow on this version of the card, actually a couple of rainbows, 2 or 3. So what we're seeing is a period of trial or error or struggle, and now you're on the other side. Now you're starting to break through and get the gold at the end of the rainbow, right? An interesting thing with rainbow, since it came through in that illustration, is when we're talking about the figurative chasing the rainbow, but the truth is, because of the way that light bends and moves, you're never going to really be able to get to that. And if someone were looking at you, you might already be at the end of the rainbow. So this is about getting a little bit of perspective and knowing that you make your own luck. So make your own luck on Tuesday. It is an auspicious day, and you have the capacity to create your own 4-leaf clover, all right? And part of it is just believing that your luck has changed. So feel free to use that as your mantra on Tuesday, okay? I absolutely love what's coming through in the midweek. So on Wednesday, we have 4 of Wands, a great day for partnership, a great day to connect with someone, whether it's for love or friendship. And I think we had the lovers today, right? So this is the sister card. Well, two of Cups is also very much lovers, but the 4 of Wands is deeper. This represents commitment, marriage, firm foundations, like best friends. It's a very good, solid energy. So think of the 1 or 2 people in your life that give you that vibe of, I've got your back, you've got my back. Great day to spend time with them. It's also a great time to write a contract. So forget about it today. This is a great day to revise a contract and say, I need something more. And if something doesn't feel right, you bring it to the sort of like spotlight, step away, come back. So negotiate these 3 preceding days, and this is the day where the magic happens. This is where you actually start to come together, meet halfway. And that's another thing that I like with this 4 of Wands. We know that there's something or someone waiting there, and if you need to meet someone halfway, meet them halfway. This is actually very much the flip side of the traditional 4 of Wands. So normally you would see the people in the background. You're kind of the people. You're the person in the background. So another message with 4 of Wands is don't lose faith. Don't forget your vision or your path. You're closer than you might realize to both. And it might just be a matter of taking a few steps, kind of embracing the energy of the previous card. I'm going to find the 4 of Wands here in the traditional set just to show you. But sometimes we panic when we're like, I've done all the work, but no one's here yet. What's going on? And this card is saying, well, they might be coming through. They could be this group. They could be this group. You're just setting the stage. And if we look at this one, it's the opposite perspective. They may be looking for you. It's not an unusual sort of place to be. One of my favorite movies, which I quote all the time, is Practical Magic. And one of the main characters in the movie casts a love spell. And she's not sure if someone loves her because of that or because there's actually love. And the other character said, I was wishing for you too. So they both had the same sort of wish at the same time, which is why it worked. But so you might have the same sort of wish. You're just waiting for the connection. And then don't get in your headspace when it happens. That was another message in the movie. It's like there actually was a spark. You just both kind of attributed it to something else. So someone else is looking and waiting for you. Again, it could be business. It could be an opportunity. Just keep meeting them halfway. Keep working on yourself. Keep setting the stage. And then when it happens, don't get in your head, okay? Looking at Thursday, a lot of duality this week, a lot of things that we're trying to work through. So there's an illusion that nothing's there. This is, as much as I think it's beautiful, it's an inaccurate 2 of Swords because we really do need the blindfolds on it. I'll find that in a second. Then we have the 5 of Pentacles, which is also a card of nursing wounds from the past. So I have both of these here really quick. I'm going to bring them up. So with the 2 of Swords, much like I was just talking about, there is sometimes this feeling of, I don't see this, therefore it's not happening. Ye of little faith, that is the sort of caption on this card. Just because it isn't directly in your energy field doesn't mean that it can't or that it won't happen. It's just not present. So this card can be about faith. Have faith, look within, and then the thing that I've really started to realize is it's saying, if you don't see it, make it. If you don't like the 1, 2, or 3 opportunities in front of you, find a new path. Use your imagination, use one of those swords, cut through some of the blocks and say, I want to go for that. And then the card beneath it is a healing card, and this might actually be what's fueling the 2 of Swords. In the past, something didn't go the way that you wanted. Someone wasn't there for you. And the rejection or that feeling of not being supported is influencing the here and the now. The other thing here is it's not enough. The 5 of Pentacles can represent this feeling that I'm not breaking even, but maybe I deserve this. No, you don't. No, you don't. You deserve more. This one is coming through, and we'll give it another caption, which is, you're worth more than this, whatever this is. And it's probably the energy that is presenting itself, maybe in the way of a thought that might come through today. And beneath it was the reality. So the devil was the illusion. The Queen of Pentacles is the reality. And so we're trying to get you into that reality. And as we look at this version of the 5 of Pentacles, sometimes we get used to feeling or being a certain way, and we have to look beyond that. So this is just a day to push yourself out of what's comfortable, push yourself out of this old pattern of maybe accepting less. I want you to, or encourage you to embrace more. This isn't an ideal day for a negotiation. I feel like the general theme is emotions, because emotions can cloud our judgment. And if we pull these 2 cards together, that makes a lot of sense. Something from the past in the form of the 5 of Pentacles could be affecting you, and then the 2 of Swords is blocked vision. It's emotions or illusions kind of like getting in the way. Another song or another pop culture sort of like throwback here is Joni Mitchell had a song, Both Sides Now. And she's talking about clouds and cloud illusions. And sometimes we just need to look at it from all the perspectives, and you'll see through it and just see that I think this is it's a passing thought. And it will, so Thursday, take it easy. We'll give you some practical ways to look at it from both sides. Take it easy, get an outside perspective. That's why Joni Mitchell came through my head. Someone else can help you see it from another point of view. Take a break if you have the capacity to do so. We don't all, but like sometimes you have to. And all of this will assist with your general health and well-being. Be kind to your body. This can be a cold, flu, or an old injury coming back. So make sure that you don't push yourself to exhaustion, okay? Looking at the end of the week, we have the 5 of Wands. So avoid unnecessary conflict. There's our dragon. So there may be someone that is feeding off of your energy, how you react to something. They want to get a rise out of you. So we're not going to feed the dragon. You're going to be your own dragon and have your own power, energy, etc. Put it into your own life in ways that matter most. Typically, this card comes through when there's not great management in a situation or insight or leadership. And so what might be going on for some of you is it's an opportunity to step into the spotlight if you want to, but it could also be a reveal of what this is. So sometimes people like to pit differing opinions against one another. There might be like a workplace where they just enjoy seeing this energy of competition, but it's also like diminishing returns on this. So don't waste your breath on people that aren't worth it. Don't put too much energy into comparing or competing. Try to resolve conflict if necessary. Don't poke the dragon. When I think of dragons, I think of selfish energy. Because what does a dragon have in its lair? Like a hoard of jewels and spoils from all of its, it's basically goes out there and gets what it wants. So someone may be territorial. And let them, if they can't, let them have their territory, because they might be on the verge of making a mistake or something. You don't have to solve that. You don't have to deal with that. Focus on yourself. And if you need help, you don't have to fight this dragon alone. Get the energy of the group behind you. It'll be a lot easier. And it really isn't about slaying the dragon here. It's about getting the support that you need and realizing that that person just isn't ready. They can't see it, because I am very much getting like the selfish energy. So they're going to they're going to keep protecting what's theirs. So be mindful of people that are territorial on Friday. It may not be the best time to have a conversation, okay? For yourself, this can also represent that the thrill is gone, that you might be, you just might be ready to move on, but it's hard because you can be working with like the horse blinders on. And so this is another day to get some perspective. Let's move into the energy of the weekend. We're going to start off here with this upcoming Saturday. We have the Knight of Cups, a breakthrough. After a couple days, Thursday and Friday are a little bit, there's a lot going on. They're a little emotional. So we now start to see the breakthrough here. Saturday is a perfect day to spend time with people that you love, to put your energy into creative ventures, to set things into motion, to go out there and push forward something. And the other thing that's kind of interesting about this is, look at all the fish that are out of water. You may feel like a fish out of water, into sort of like putting yourself in a new situation, but you might also, interestingly enough, thrive in this situation. So never underestimate your ability to blend in or to just fake it till you make it. And that's what this Knight of Cups is showing us, right? There could also be a water sign, Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces coming into your life. I really feel like Saturday is a great day. It's probably one of the third best days of this week, so embrace it. And then I love what's coming through a week from today. Whatever we've been working through this week, it's all worth it. We have the Ace of Swords coming through, very Excalibur theme here. I like this thematically for an Ace of Swords because it's basically saying two things if you know the story of Excalibur. There's only really one person that can pull this sword out of the stone. That's you, because I'm reading for you. And someone needs to pull it out of the stone. So an idea is only as good as the follow through. And so Ace of Swords is connected to communication. I want this, or I'm ready for this, or I have an idea, speaking it into the physical. Then it's about taking the sword and going for it. So talk the talk and walk the walk, and you're the best one to make it happen this week if you want to. And a week from today, that's when all the magic starts to happen. But you have to pull the sword from the stone, and you have to believe. It's not going to work unless you believe in it. You can say it, but if you don't believe it, I'm not going to either, and then things aren't going to move forward. So really believe in yourself, really advocate for yourself, and it looks like some great things can happen. Beginnings. There's a couple days of beginnings. We had one on Tuesday. We have one here on Sunday. So there's multiple points during which you can launch, create, or make something happen. And if you do have something written that you need to, or something that you need to write or put into motion, this is the day, whether it's a contract, a plan, and something that you want to put in your journal, or you want to send a letter or some other form of communication to someone, Sunday's the day. Let's look at highlights and challenges for this week, and then we'll move into the next portion of the reading. Okay, so a couple of thoughts. I think that today's the biggest challenge for many of you because we have these sort of dueling energies. If we put the energy here, it makes this part where we are Thursday, Friday a little more challenging. So let's put it more into the Queen of Pentacles so we can get things moving in the right direction. I think the other challenging day would probably be Thursday. The Five of Wands on Friday is just a matter of walking away from someone or something that is trying to get under your skin. But I think today and I think Thursday, there are some emotions, there are some themes from the past. Retrograde is basically giving us one last kick in the behind. So be mindful on those days. The best days of the week, as I said earlier, I think Monday is your day to shine. But there's also 2 days of initiation or stepping into something new, Tuesday and Sunday. And then just for relationships and fun, Wednesday and Saturday look pretty good. But overall, this is a good week. Multiple high points, just a couple days that are challenging. I really think it is Sunday and Thursday. Be careful on those days. Take your time. And there might be something beneath the surface that needs your time and your attention. So like I said, be mindful of that and don't rush. All right, we're going to move into the next portion, which is the elements. Fire, earth, air, and water. We're going to look at all of those. All right, so let me just create a little space on the table. We'll use a different deck for this. And let me see what I'm called to do. I think I'm going to use the Wild Unknown because it's been a minute. All right, so let me grab that and we'll begin. Okay. So let's look at the elements and see what's coming forth. Fire, earth, air. It's an interesting week for you. And water. Okay. Let's go into fire. Love what I see. Love this illustration too. The mountain on this card can represent the work that you've gone through to get to this moment in time. It hasn't all been easy. It might have actually been a struggle. You had to climb your Mount Everest. But this week, you're at the top. You have a chance now to really kind of like nail it or hit it out of the park. And what the Three of Pentacles represents is mastery. And what that really means is this time, no matter how many times before it didn't work, this time it lands, this time it works. And normally we would see three people, but I like what they're doing here. This can show community, connection, cooperation. It's the absolute opposite of the Five of Wands because it shows that together you're stronger and you can make this happen if I can keep the card in my hands. So this is a great day, or a great week, I should say, for teamwork. It's a great opportunity also to get whatever you've done, a work product or an idea or something that you've written, because this is also the writer's card, out there into the world. It's done. It's ready. You can get one more set of eyes on it if you want to, but I really feel like you're ready to graduate. This is also connected to higher education and graduation. So lean into your knowledge, partner up with other people, share what you've done, send it out into the world. We had the Fool and we had the Ace of Swords coming through again, what was that, Tuesday and next Sunday, allowing you to really launch something. So those are the 2 days where you can share what you've learned in your Three of Pentacles. Don't give up. If you are just climbing the mountain, it's worth it. Keep learning, keep investing, whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish. It's the hardest point when you're just like right at this point near the peak and you're like, I don't know if I can do that last leg of the journey. Yes, you can. It will be worth what you see at the top. Okay? But if you need help, ask. Like I said, this is a very team-oriented card, and sometimes those outside perspectives can help you out. There might be someone that can see something that you're missing, but it's not a big thing. I really feel like you're very, very close to the finish line, and make sure that you're writing and recording things, though. So the one thing that can get lost sometimes is an idea, because you might have so many things going on that you're like, oh, wait, what was I supposed to do today? So use lists, have priorities, work with others to make sure that you're getting everything and doing everything to spec. But at the end of the week, literally, it feels like you're ready to do it. I can't find the Three of Pentacles, but usually there's a person that has a to-do list and they're pointing up, and there might be someone saying, don't forget about this, okay? Because sometimes in the throes of doing all the work, you might forget. But ultimately, love what I see here with the Three of Pentacles. Great week ahead for Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. Keep me posted as the week progresses and let me know how that relates to you. Okay, let's move on to the earth signs. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Be patient with yourself. Be patient with others. Temperance literally is saying don't go to extremes. Traditional card also has a path behind the angel, 1 foot in the water, 1 foot on land. So the energy of the Fool is going to help you out a little bit this week. Take one step at a time. Realize that anything worth doing is worth doing right and can take time to do. So don't rush. Don't let others rush you. The devil's in the details, and the devil may want you to just not pay attention to that. There might be something that it doesn't want you to see because it's not right, or it just doesn't care. It's like, just get it done. Take your time. And honestly, usually the devil ends up being its own worst enemy, and it has a way of kind of like defeating itself. So make sure that you're protecting yourself. Temperance is also one of my favorite cards with respect to how to tune into higher realms and higher consciousness. Patience, persistence, and not having too much expectations. So like meditation, in other words. When you meditate, just be present and allow what needs to come through to come through. And this particular energy of temperance on this one, we see two different, it's transmuting. So there's fire, but it's also kind of like crying here. So that emotional energy, you could channel it into passion. You could transmute water into fire, the way this one is illustrated. I recently put it in my Instagram story. There was a post that, or like an interview with Alanis Morissette, and she was talking about how she still relates to her very emotional, like Jagged Little Pill album. And she said, anger, sadness, frustration, we bottle all of these things sometimes. Now I'm paraphrasing, but what she said also in this, and this is pretty close to the quote, they also can result in some of the best work or action in our life. You can take anger and fuel change. And yes, you can. You can take jealousy and turn it into self-improvement. I wish I had that. Why don't I work on myself? Instead of being jealous of them, I'm inspired. I'm inspired to do something in my own way, in my own path. So we're looking at transmutation of emotions. You're not bottling it, you're changing it. You're being an alchemist. So that also takes time and patience. And the Temperance Angel is really taking those 2 cups that it usually holds in front of it and weighing things out. It's not letting the emotions get the better of it. And it's creating its own special brew of whatever it needs to. Now, again, I got Chaka Khan in my head. Put fire inside of you, create a special brew. So it is about taking the passion and reimagining it into something else, okay? Patience is key. Don't be rushed. Listen to the gentle whisper or voice of intuition that is always present for all of us, but we sometimes have this cacophony of noise, whether it's other people's complaints, social media, our own competing thoughts. Slow it down, tune in. The path will reveal itself, okay? Easy does it, but you can use your emotions, the lower frequency ones, elevate them into a higher frequency energy, and have a great week as a result. And because you're Earth, you know how to do this. You know how to breathe, put your feet on the ground and say, we're okay, I'm okay, this is fine. And I feel like that mantra could be very effective this week. I've got this, I'm okay, all right? Keep me posted and let me know how the week goes. But by the way, this is one of the angelic cards. So the Lovers, Temperance, and Judgment. Whenever we have an angelic card, you are guided, you are protected. Take your time, okay? On to the air signs, you have 2. The first one is exciting. We have the Magician, and then you can see the Chariot right behind it. Let's talk about the Magician first. With the Magician, it's all about focus and discernment. It's upright, though, so it feels like you know how to do it. You know what you need to do. Just take action. Don't get distracted. But it's fine. It's upright. Magician is also really impactful and very charismatic when it comes to a face-to-face communication. People may not know exactly how or why they're so drawn to you, but they are. So if you wanted to have an important negotiation, a tricky conversation, the Magician has a way, abracadabra, of making it work. They don't understand, but they're like, I'm pulled into this energy. This is also a great energy of commencement or beginnings. So just like the Fool, just like, what do we also have this week that was good for beginnings? Oh, the Ace of Swords. The Magician is another one because what does it have? 4 aces. 4 different aces there. Swords, Pentacles, Cups, and Wands, all there in front of it. It just needs to know, what do I want to do? So that's why I think the most important thing for the air signs is focus. And I'll say it as a fellow air sign. Sometimes when you're an air sign, you can be so sort of like, it's like overstimulated because you can see it from all angles. I'm speaking just from the Libra perspective, but I'm sure Gemini and Aquarius, you understand what I'm saying. Like, we have a good way of empathizing, viewing it all the way to the horizon and back. And it's like, where do I get started? Because I can see it all, and it's overwhelming. So ground yourself, like we were just talking about with the earth signs. And then we have this. You have to have the direction. So the Chariot here is unbridled. It's kind of like a bronco or a, what's the other word? A Mustang. It's just wild horse going out on its own. Normally we have 2 horses and the Chariot. There's nothing wrong with this. You might have entrepreneurial energy, embrace it. But what direction are you headed in? So whether you're doing it on your own or there's 2 horses and the person riding the Chariot, it's important to have a shared vision. Once you have the clarity and the focus, the Magician will be empowered. Then move forward. The other thing that we're getting for all the air signs is that the now energy, now and next. Now you know what you need to do. What are you going to do next? Let's not spend any unnecessary time looking at the past. Learn from it. Don't cling to it. And if someone in your life is trying to hold you back, what will I do without you? If you really loved me, you'd stay. That is conditional. Literally, if you like, why can't I love you and also do what I want to do? So there's someone or something that might be trying to rein you in, and that's maybe why we see a horse without the chariot. So it's okay to move in your own direction if you need to. But focus. Focus is everything, and discernment as well, because all those aces can be overwhelming. Ground yourself and ask yourself, what do I want? Why am I doing? And what's going to bring me closer to that? Once you have the focus, then everything will align. Then the synchronicities will start to rush in. So Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, you've got this. It'll be a very powerful week. You were the only element that got 2 cards. So you may even have 2 competing opportunities in front of you. You might have to juggle a little bit, or you might have to prioritize. I'm going to put like 70% of my energy here and 30 here. Do what you need to do. You've got this. This will be a great week ahead. Wrapping up with Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces, all the water signs. We have great energy here, 6 of Cups. What I love about the way that they showed this is equal energy, but not visually presenting in the same way. So you have the tree and then its roots, and actually what isn't shown is a little stronger. The roots go deeper. So in a relationship, sometimes the quiet one is doing just as much work. Or someone that isn't constantly pointing out all of their contributions, they're also doing just as much work. So especially when we're looking at friends, loved ones, and partners in your life, work partners or your spouse, like look at what one another, what each of you are doing, but like beneath the surface. The little things that get, sort of forgotten or go unnoticed day to day. There's so much there. So this is potentially the source of like the devil and the 2 of Swords energy. Do you see me? Do I see you? Are we acknowledging all of that? Now, that out of the picture, it's a great week for partnerships and togetherness and people energy across the board. Whether or not you see yourself as a very social person, as a great communicator, it isn't a communication card. It's a people card. So just you being part of something can make or break it. Someone may want the quiet person there that holds up the fort, and they see you. As long as that appreciation is expressed, everything is going to go well. A great time to put energy into existing relationships, to meet new people, to develop a new relationship, or to have some fun. And whether or not you're looking for people energy, people see you. You got the star energy. Everyone has it coming through on Monday. So there may be someone that steps forward and shines a light on you. They're doing it not because they want to put you in the hot seat, but they want to put you in the spotlight. They think you have something to offer. So accept the cup. There's in the regular 6 of Cups, there's 2 people giving each other cups, giving each other flowers. This is your opportunity to get your flowers. This is your chance to give and share love and opportunity, and go for it. Stay grounded. I mean, it's not accidental that we're looking at the roots in this. And I think the other thing here is take a moment to drink it all in, for sure, okay? Great energy, Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. Don't underestimate the power of leaning into group energy, partnership, friendship, all of the above. So overall, pretty good energy. We didn't actually get 1 negative card in all of the elements, which tells me that the things that we were looking at this week are largely emotional or environmental, but they're definitely something that you can transmute, okay? All right. Believe it or not, it's time for the main topic for today. So while I'm getting everything set up, quick reminder, if you like this video, why not actually like it? Hit the thumbs up. Let me know that you care. Subscribe if you've been a long-time viewer but have never done so. It is free and it is fun, and we do a lot here, so please do that. After the video is done, you can join me on social media if you'd like to. I think in the pinned comment, we also have a link to all of that, plus my website. So you know what to do if you want to. We have a target today. It was so close. I think it was like 3 percentage points on the general poll, 3 or 4, not enough to allow for the members to push it over. But whenever we're that close, sometimes I'll open up a target. So today, if you want me to go into cord cutting or releasing anchors, we have a goal. We're pretty close. We're halfway there. I think we'll get there today. All right. I'm going to select a deck, and then we're going to get started. So let me just make some room here and see which one is calling. All right, it's been a minute since I've used this one, and I like it. This is the Wildwood Tarot. All right, let's tune in once more just in case you just joined. Imagine yourself looking at the rising sun, feeling its warmth and radiance, wrapping a cocoon of energy around your body. In this moment, know that you are protected and connected to Source. By the way, I'm feeling much, much better. I just took like another week to take care of myself. I still have like a little swelling in one of my fingers, but the joint pain is gone and I'm off all my medication. So I'm feeling, finally, after like, feels like a month and a half, I'm feeling better. So thank you for your patience. All right, let's begin here and take a look at the special topic, which is mirror ball. See your situation in a new perspective or from a new perspective. So I'm trying to help you look at it from all angles, even the ones you don't want to see or haven't given enough time or energy to notice. All right, we had lots of dueling and like dualities. There's multiple cards that wanted to come through this week, so we're going to allow that, which makes for a slightly more interesting Celtic Cross, but we'll allow it to be. Yeah, for those that were asking, I was on prednisone, and that has its way of creating some aches and pains in your body. Sorry, I'm off mic. Aches and pains in your body. So it takes a while, about as long as you're on it, to get out. And then I had to go to a bunch of doctors just to make sure that it didn't do more than it was supposed to, because it can also be a destructive thing. So I appear to be okay. It just took a long time. And I still have like a little bit of joint pain. So that's what was going on. I had like muscle and joint pain coming through from that, and I actually couldn't shuffle the cards, which was crazy. Okay, so I'm grateful to be here, and the one thing that we take for granted sometimes is just the little things, like breathing, hearing, moving. I have so much more empathy for people that have fibromyalgia, arthritis, an old injury that creates joint and muscle pain. Like, it makes just every part of life a little bit more challenging. And so to all of you, my heart goes out to you. We'll do a little healing energy at the end to help with that for those that need it. But now we got a lot to talk about. All right, the Catalyst card. Let's turn it in the upright position. Loving kindness for difficult people. That's a kind of funny card. So that Five of Wands energy that came forth very much in alignment with this. May you be filled with peace. I don't know why I'm laughing. I mean, I do, because this is very much the energy of fake it till you make it. Sometimes you just have to smile and not go into the argument. Loving kindness for difficult people. Well, here's why. There may be some people in your life, and is there 5 here? 1, 2, 3, 4. No, just 4. The 5th one could be down here. Difficult people might have had difficult experiences that created that sense of like unrest. You never know what that person's been through or what they're going through. So we're going to have a little bit of loving kindness and patience for that kind of person. Also, step back. You don't need to go into the path of fire for someone that's difficult. Let them be. Don't poke the dragon or the bear in your own life. Hold some space and know that they may just be having like the worst day ever, and it has nothing to do with you. That's kind of what I try to assume when someone is very unkind, while they must be going through a lot. And I don't need to actually go anywhere else with that thought. I hope they're okay. And I'm going to focus on this instead. I'm not going to put more fire in their belly or give them more pain. It's just not worth it. So that can help you a little bit. You don't have to understand why someone's going through something, but you might give them just a little bit of space to know that, hey, you're fine here. I don't need to like make it worse for you or for me. Okay. But it is a little bit of a mind game. That's why you have to kind of psych yourself into that understanding, like it's just not worth it. I'm going to be kind. I'm going to walk the high path and just go on to something else. Okay, we have the seer, also known as the high priestess. She is reversed. One of the most difficult things in this moment in time is just realizing that you can trust yourself. So it's interesting that we have the mirror ball, which is to see it from all these perspectives. And the very first message that came through is, but you already know, you can already see it. So trust your instincts and trust what you're already kind of feeling beneath the surface. This can also be someone that is trying to persuade you to see it from their perspective or to do what they want. Remember, we had the devil with the sort of chains, and it was attached to its tongue, if I remember the illustration. So someone this week could be using communication in a way that they think is persuasive, but you see through it. So I really want you to trust your instincts when it comes to, can I trust this person, or do I feel like I need to speak up or try something else, or that they're just full of baloney? Because all of those thoughts may be valid. Explore all the options in front of you, dig a little deeper, and if you see something that isn't right, the devil energy, call it out. I see you. That is also the Two of Swords, but a different version of it, which is appreciation. Someone may be feeling left out or unnoticed. So the I see you can also be like a thankful, like I see what you're doing here. Thank you so much. And then it's like an actor reading lines. The other one is, I see what you're doing here. Stop. So you're showing people that you're aware. You're aware of them. You're aware of your thoughts, and you're connecting the dots. So in both appreciation and boundaries, it cuts both ways. That's why you have two swords. All right, now it's starting to make sense as we go into the deeper reading here. Also, take some time and meditate and tune in. Something that I've learned from my own experience here. I've been spending much more time in meditation. It is very important, particularly in healing. I was talking to one of my friends who's a fellow intuitive, and one thing that we've been talking about is that I literally, when I meditate, talk to my body in my mind, but also I live by myself. And even if I lived with someone, they'd be used to the fact that I use meditation. So sometimes I'll talk to my body and say, the stress that I'm holding here, you can go now. I'll say it out loud as I'm meditating, because I actually believe in the power of spoken words. So even if you think you're sounding a little unhinged, you're not. You can do it if you need quiet time, you can do it when you're taking a shower or a bath and there's noise and no one can hear you. Talk to your body and let it know that you've got its back, or you're there for it. I'm letting it go. By the way, meditating while you're taking a shower is really effective, because what you don't need can go down the drain. So imagine that the shower is light coming onto your body, that wherever it is that you need healing, you can turn and allow the energy to go there. You can work with your own healing hands, or just let the water do it, because it also transmutes, and then let it go. Talk to your body and tell it it's okay to release fear, anxiety, swelling, inflammation, and then breathe it out and just allow yourself now to be okay. Say, tomorrow when I wake up, it's going to feel better. I'm letting this go. So talk to your body. It wants to hear you. It wants to hear that it's being supported. You can do it in your head, but it's even more effective if you speak it. And again, a shower is a good time so that people don't think you're crazy. But I don't care. Have some fun. That's part of the way that it works, because thoughts are an act of creation. Words are invocation. You need both. Actions are follow through. So creation, invocation, follow through. You've got to kind of like lean into all three. So do it whenever it feels right. You can go out and take a walk in the woods. I don't care. Wherever you can talk to your body a little bit and tell it it's going to be okay. That's one of the messages that's coming through. Okay? Strange, but it works. One of the things that I did for this too, I was like, I'm not getting older, I'm getting younger. The hearing is not going away, it's improving. The blockage is not staying, it's releasing. and I am opening up to the healing energy to come through. So I was talking to my ears because they hear, but I was also envisioning the light going through them. I'm still working with a little bit of eustachian tube dysfunction. It's getting better. It's gone, but I'll wake up in the morning and it feels a little sticky and then it opens up. So I'm still working on that, and I'm still working with the inflammation, but I'm telling the body to release some of this stuff. And it does work. Try it. Try it and let me know if it doesn't have a positive impact on your well, it's going to help because your body listens to your emotions. So it starts to create positive sort of healing, cellular stuff that will go there on a very small level too. Even if it's like your white blood cells or cortisol or whatever it is, it's going to push it through, okay? On top of this, we have a wish fulfillment card. So if you believe, you can make it work. 9 of Cups. In addition to that, it's also about gratitude and generosity and having fun and leaning into the positive. It is crossing this card, so we want to go to the elevated version of it, which is just what I was talking about. That positivity attracts more positivity. It makes you feel better, makes people around you feel better. It's not a placebo, it's real. So that energy of positivity, that frequency of love can help you out quite a bit. If you have a wish, this is like the genie in the bottle. It's saying, wish fulfilled. Just believe it, just follow through, okay? So the other perspective here that's coming through is the power of thoughts, the words that you tell yourself. Okay, speaking of Alanis Morissette, there's another song, I think it's called Tapes. I can't remember all of the lyrics to it, but she talks about all the tapes that are playing in her head. It's a very analog, literally, thought. But all of these voices that we have, sometimes the voices that are telling us that we can't do it, that we're not enough, the 5 of Pentacles. And we have to turn those off. We have to reprogram them. We have to put a better tape on, a better record, since vinyl's more popular. But actually, cassette tapes have come back. So you just have to play something else. Change the mental channel, okay? All right. When we're looking at karmically what you've done, I actually feel like you're just one step away from something big happening. Energetically, you've done all of the work. You've already graduated. So Judgment, which precedes this card, is about releasing, accepting, embracing, and rising up to the occasion. Literally, it's souls rising up from the dead to a new life, to a new version of themselves. So there's a chapter that's closed, but there's a bigger one that's opened. And it's kind of interesting here that at the end of that labyrinth, we have a little door. So this is always about expanding. But I feel like you're more in the energy of judgment. The world's there sitting for you, but you're in the judgment phase. You're like, oh my gosh, but all of this ended. And the world is like, but step through. There's something better. So also, I love the seasonal energy on this. This is the time. The time is now. It doesn't matter if you're northern, southern hemisphere. It doesn't matter if you're watching this right now or 5 months from now, because that's how the algorithm works. Now is the time. The work has been done. Tell yourself, if you feel like it, the work has been done. What am I waiting for? And when you do that, let's see what's waiting for you. This is the now, and this resonates on so many levels, I think, for the world in general. We have the Blasted Oak, which is the tower in this deck. And this person is just neither here nor there. They're trying to figure out what's going on. So a tower reversed, I don't fear. If you watch my channel, you know this, because reversed towers are typically there because, 1, you see it coming and you decide, okay. 2, you see it coming and you're like, let's do this, and maybe I'm going to use this to my advantage. Or you take a sledgehammer and break down a wall. Fried green tomatoes, Tawanda. She's deciding, like, I'm done with this. I need to get out of this. So you could be finding that inner change maker, or the person that's like, what have I got to lose? The change is already happening. So you're on either side of that coin. It's already begun. So there are some things that you can't stop. In the tower, you can't. But there is a sense of freedom or liberation when this card is reversed. It's like, well, what can I do with this then? What can I do next? Why did it happen? And what can I do next? Find your power in the storm. Be the eye of the storm, if you choose to be. There's an overdue move. something that you need to either set into motion. Maybe it could be a physical move. Maybe it could be a figurative move. I'm ready to move in this mental direction, whatever it is. Now is the time. And the sooner you do it, the easier it'll be. And the more you embrace it, the more effective it will be. Okay? All right. So in the crowning position, we have the Page of Bows or the Page of Wands. This card is reversed. Some of you are too much in your headspace. You might be worried too much about what others want or expect. You may be doubting yourself. And this is encouraging you just to take a step in the direction of your dream or your vision or your idea. Someone may not be able to see it. So pages communicate. When we're looking at wands, it's demonstrative. Cups, we're looking at the emotional connection. Swords, like what you're saying. What did I miss? Pentacles, where's the money? But with wands, it's like, I can't see it. So you could communicate differently, like show it in an illustration, point it out if someone else is doing it. Get them involved, bring them to, did something just pause for a second? Sorry, I saw the camera pause. Anyway, but basically just get them into the energy of this is happening, this is real, okay? And I think if you do that, something exciting can happen and you'll be impressed with like where that takes you, okay? Speaking of retrograde, something did happen and now I see my camera a couple minutes behind, but we're just gonna move with it, it'll be fine. All right. Moving on to what's coming through here in the near future. We have the Knight of Swords, and it is in the reverse position, the Hawk. So this can be for some of you about making sure that you're being heard and seen. So the Page and the Knight both reversed. Interestingly enough, with the Knight of Swords in the reverse position, another thing that I'm picking up on for some of you is this understanding that I need to slow down. There may be so much that you're trying to do that you yourself are feeling this lack of support, this lack of clarity, this lack of vision. And so in this moment in time, it's going to be very, very important for you to not sort of like, not get lost in the shuffle. So definitely take your time. Definitely make sure that you are aligned with what the next step should be for you, okay? So the other thing here is someone might be talking over you. And so if someone is talking over you, make sure that that there's a time and a space and there's some boundaries so that you're not feeling this sense of not being appreciated, not being seen, and not being heard. And whenever a knight slows down, they do so in order to get the clarity that they need. They make sure that they're feeling that sense of support and connection. And this is an important time for all of that. Okay? All right. So what's going on with you? Here we go again with the Five of Wands. So in this Five of Wands, sorry, let's get this up here. In this Five of Wands, what we have here is someone that isn't... Well, here's the interesting thing. I think you're the only one that might be either doing the work or seeing the big picture. So we have like this person carved in on the heel here, which can represent someone that... it's like you're pushing it in a direction that no one else is, and they may have a difficult time understanding where you're at, why you're there. And so, again, either stepping into leadership, not putting your time and energy into things that don't matter, or simply deciding, you know what, I'm just going to do my own thing. I really feel like this moment in time is about independent work. There may be a time and a place where you need to plug into that group energy again, but there are challenges this week. So I would say use what we saw. What was it like? Monday looked really good. I think the middle of the week looked good. So whenever go back to the 7-day forecast and when we had the Star and the Four of Wands, those are really good times. And I even think like next Sunday was really good. So lean into the days where people are a little bit more open to what you have to offer, and know that you're going to find your way through this, even if it isn't easy every single day, okay? As we take a look at what's going on around you, we have Page of Swords. So lots of communication. Page. There's too many people communicating at once. That's one of the problems here. So many different thoughts, so many different people communicating. So make sure that when it comes to general communication, that there is some sort of like shared understanding of who's the boss, who's kind of leading the ship. And one thing that you could do if there is an opportunity for like partnership is just say, hey, let's put all the ideas on the board rather than trying to make a decision right now. Because I think everybody wants to make sure that they're being seen, they're being heard, that they're part of this conversation. Fair enough. But there might also be, for many of you, just too much crosstalk. Okay? Other thing that the Page of Swords does, it basically speaks it into being. We talked about the importance of like talking to your body and feeling that your body knows that it has your back. There might be people in your life that also need that sort of validation. So gratitude, thanks, and also just sort of like making sure that you're saying what you want and what you need, particularly since we had this energy of change and movement here. Okay? Let's look at what else is going on in this spread here. This is the tricky stuff. This is where I feel like there's an opportunity to do better. So we have 10 of Swords, instruction. But the other thing with the 10 of Swords can be this feeling of, things aren't working out the way that I want them to work. So learning from your mistakes, that's one of the things that's coming through with this. So let me see. I tried to change up. See, one of my cameras isn't working. So let me see if it's coming back. Okay, yeah, good. I just had to plug it and unplug it because it was very distracting for me to see it 3 seconds behind. All right, so now we're all tuned in. By the way, what I just did, you can do in everyday life. Do a mental reset. Sometimes you have to step back and just disconnect. I'm like, what if I just unplug the cord and plug it back in? So do that in your own life. I needed to do it. I was getting distracted. So if there's too much going on, if there's the crosstalk, and everyone wants to be right, everyone wants to be heard, everyone wants to be seen, step back, get the big picture, and learn from what's going on. So this 10 of Swords is my favorite, second favorite. I like the one in the Lightseers deck. But this 10 of Swords is saying that failure, that setback, that discomfort was something that I can learn from. And we have someone else in here, a mentor, helping you pick up the swords, pick up the pieces, pick up the arrows, and do it better this time. So definitely seek out that advice if you need to. Beneath it, we have the Page of Pentacles. So 1, 2, 3. We have 3 of the pages that came through. That's a lot of pages. So the Page of Pentacles, the links. Things are going to happen quickly when it comes to finance, when it comes to your schedule, when it comes to practical matters. So you have to really be on your feet. What I like about one of the giant cats is that they can usually land on their feet and they can usually act quickly. So you might also be asked to make an important decision and you're worried, am I going to fail? Am I going to mess up? No. In the past, you might not have made the best decisions, but you're going to make a better one now. Let's look at the 3 pages before we move forward. This page was reversed. The most difficult thing is seeing it or being seen. So how you communicate and how you feel when you communicate make the difference here. This can be transmuted. This can be withstood if you stand your ground. You may be asked to stand your ground this week with the devil energy that we saw even today. This is about saying, I'm planting myself firmly in this moment, right? And not letting someone else's perceived negativity or projected failure upon you, like, sit within your body. Okay? The second sort of set of 2 cards came through in the outcome. So the first of the 2 is the 8 of Vessels or the 8 of Cups. They title this one Rebirth, and I understand why, because the 8 of Cups is second chances. But it's also seeing something, coming back with those the new perspective and seeing something differently. So are you ready this time around to kind of like do what you came to this planet to do? If there's something that has been left unsaid, say it. I love you. I'm sorry. Goodbye. If there's something that you have been procrastinating to do, do it. If there's a door that needs to be shut, shut it. If there's something where you want to leave the door open, you can do that. This is a card of possibilities. I can't tell you which of those is best for you. You have to decide. But if one of those sounded good, go for it, because the 8 of Cups is cyclical and we're almost through the retrograde process. Not yet, but soon. We're kind of past the middle. So this is your chance to wrap it up in a nice clean bow. Then we have a Knight here, another Knight reversed, the Knight of Pentacles. I want to take a step back, and I want to make sure that I'm getting what I need from this. I want to make sure that we're making the progress that we need. I want to make sure that we're not just going forward for the sake of going forward. This is very much the other horse for the Chariot. Remember, we saw one solo horse. Now we have another one. And remember one of the other messages, which was the Four of Wands, that felt very much like you looking for someone else and them looking for you. I feel like a synchronicity is just around the corner. So the connection may not be happening this week, but it might be happening the following week. So don't give up. Keep doing the work. Don't hit the snooze button. Wake up. Don't procrastinate. Do. Release doubt. Trust. Transmute. Go into the transmutation energy that we were talking about with that different version of temperance. All of this is now coming into focus. And if you need to unplug, I had to do it from my camera because I was losing my mind because I'm like, why are my lips moving 3 seconds behind? Unplug. Whatever you need to do, there's a little glitch in the system this week. You have to get past that glitch and then everything will be okay. All right, let's go to the expanded forecast, health, wealth, love, and destiny. We're going to begin with the energy of health. Very interesting focus is coming through. Let me take a quick drink and then we'll talk about this. Okay, focus as a health card is fascinating energy. Let me just pull the right graphics for this. So with health, focus can be mental acuity. So Seven of Cups energy reversed would be like, I have so much going on, I don't know how or where to focus. Overstimulation, lack of clarity and instruction, or just distraction. So changing up the environment can help you focus. Moving to a different place, putting on some noise cancellation headphones can help you with that. There may be also just this feeling like I need a moment. So meditation is very good at helping you focus. Breathe, plant your feet on the ground, stop the mental tapes that are going through your head. Okay, why don't I focus on this right now? Instead of all 7 cups, let's take this one here and do that. So break it into smaller pieces. That can help. This can also be confusion. And if there is confusion or if there is consistent lack of focus, talk to a doctor, talk to a therapist. There could be something else going on that needs attention. The devil is a distraction, and it might be trying to take your attention away from what you need to focus on. So I do feel like someone else can help you see it better than you can see it yourself. Maybe you need a new set of glasses. It can literally be something like that because we have 2 of Swords energy that came through during the week. So I know for this, I went through a few pairs, which is why I kept wearing my old ones. I had to go to a couple different doctors to find the right doctor that could get the right prescription. So you might need that, or someone that focuses on your needs. Whatever it is for you that you need, advocate for that. All right, let's look at this from a health perspective. Speaking of focus, going back to this, it's one of the more important messages and one of the more difficult ones. Again, if there's someone difficult in your life, you don't have to fix them. You don't have to even forgive them. You just have to be kind to them and maybe put them to the side. Focus on something else. Patience with difficult people, really important when it comes to health. Okay. Emotions can ride high and low this week. The 9 of Cups is very much a roller coaster sometimes, particularly since it's touching the Tower or Blasted Oak card, since it's touching what someone might have said to you. I feel like someone could have said something that got under your skin. I'm afraid that they're going to do that again, or I'm afraid what they're going to say because this is in fears. So releasing words. They're just words. Everyone can use them. Everyone has them. They only have power if we believe in them. Another line from Practical Magic, like a curse only works if you believe in them, and I don't. And that's what he kind of said. So someone can say something, someone can feel something, but if your energy is high enough, you can dismiss it. That's just your thought. That's just your opinion. It's one of many. I'm going to hold some space because you might have said some difficult things. You might have wished something harmful to me, but that's your wish, not mine. And it doesn't have any power in this energy field. So you have to kind of like set those boundaries. That will help you out. That will help you out and help you navigate difficult people and difficult thoughts, right? There's a lot going on, and you may not know where you stand because this is a card without your feet on the ground. Also, by the way, in relationships, head over heels. This is a joyful card. This can be a joyful card, the star. The seer. So there could be someone that comes into your life that just throws you head over heels. I just mentioned this, chronic pain or fatigue. I feel you literally, I went through it over the past 6 weeks. It's hard. It's hard when you have chronic pain that won't go away. But finding different ways to cope and different ways to trust and love the body, and that's something that I had to do for my own body. Like just, well, if this is how it's going to be that way. I'll find a way to support you. Love your body where it's at. Tell it it's going to be better. Support it in the ways that it needs to be supported. If you have chronic pain or fatigue, work with specialists. That's something that I had to do as well. Interestingly enough, they still didn't know what was going on. And this is where, until I did the work. So I would encourage you also to do the homework. Because I went to like an orthopedic specialist, and when I was having this stuff going on, they're like, well, maybe it's repetitive motion and this and that. I'm like, or I just researched, I'm like, or it was the prednisone, which can cause muscle aches, pains, and swelling. So keep talking, keep researching. I had to go to so many doctors with what was going on with this because you can't see it. So I had to find someone that was intuitive enough to know what that was. Then with this, I told them, I came in telling them what it was, and they didn't listen. And then I did research and talked to another primary, and they're like, yeah, that's just prednisone. And so I don't know why, but a lot of healthcare professionals, when you have an illness that doesn't match your age or your gender or their expectation of you, they don't listen. So you have to keep seeking out the right kind of doctors, because I experienced definitely age bias with all that was going on. They're like, how can someone your age have arthritis? I'm like, it can happen at anyone at any age, by the way. And it wasn't arthritis, it was something else. So keep pushing, because people aren't always listening. And we have so many doctors that just get out the prescription pad and they have cotton in their ears and they're not listening. So you might need to have 2 or 3 opinions, because we have a page here, a page here, and a page here. Get some different options in front of you. Look at the different paths. Make sure that if you're working with one doctor, that you talk about the 2 or 3 different paths that you can take. Because what are we looking at? The mirror ball. And what is it? A different perspective, right? So whether you're very young, whether you're middle-aged, whether you're older, these biases exist. And let's not forget the gender bias. A lot of times doctors don't listen to women as much as they listen to men. They don't listen to older people as much as they do younger. So if you're anywhere in the spectrum of being unheard or unrepresented or underrepresented, speak up or find someone. This is something that I do. Find someone your age, your gender that will listen to you. So if you need to work the bias in your favor, find someone that's empathetic, because it exists, folks. It's super annoying, but it exists. And I've learned not to take the first piece of advice that comes my way. I think it's super, super, super important. I'm finally feeling okay. Like I said, it's still working its way out, but now I'm going to get everything caught up this week. Again, apologies, but it's kind of like I had no choice but to just relax and take care of myself. So do the same for yourself. Don't push yourself to extremes, folks. 10 of Swords. It is there in possibilities, but not in outcome. So with the 10 of Swords, if you push yourself to the point of exhaustion, this is not fun to go through. This can be like getting the flu and being knocked out for a few days. This can be lifting something way too heavy and spraining or breaking a bone or something like that, spraining an ankle, breaking a bone. You don't need to do it. Don't push yourself to the point of exhaustion, okay? So just know I see you. The one thing that going through all of this does is really builds empathy. And I get so frustrated at the system. So you must advocate for yourself. Wherever you are, whatever you're feeling, I'm sorry. But do what I did and keep getting opinions if you can. It's not always easy. Sometimes we don't have the insurance plans that allow that, because the U.S. healthcare is ridiculous. In other countries, sometimes the wait is too long, even if there's universal healthcare. I get it. But keep looking, keep trying, keep pushing. If you have to work with one doctor, push them to see other opportunities in front of you. It's your body. It's your choice. Okay? And you have to advocate for yourself. And you may feel or see something that they're not listening to or understanding. That's really what that's about here. Get them to focus on you, you focus on yourself. If everything else is going okay in your body, let me see what else I'm looking at. Oh, making and breaking cycles. So with this, there's also a need in this moment to kind of decide, here we go with this camera again, I'm not sure what's going on, again, retrograde. But with this going on, there might be an opportunity to really push things in the right direction. So the Eight of Cups is saying, in this moment in time, I know I can make this happen. I choose to make this happen, okay? And I think that's pretty much everything for the most part. We hit on it. If you're doing a move, like a physical move, a change in activity, a change in prescription, the Blasted Oak is saying taper into it or taper off of it. Because if you go too quickly, changing things up, you won't know what's working and what's just chaotic because your body's trying to get used to stuff, okay? Easy does it, one step at a time. Moving into wealth, resources, life purpose, and career. We have an interesting intersection here. Love could just be passion. So the first thing that we can look at is, do I feel connected? Do I love what I'm doing? But let's read the caption on this. It says, I commit to the practice of seeing the good in all things. I mean, it's very much aligned to this almost therapy-oriented loving kindness for difficult people. I'm going to try to love this. I'm going to try to make the most out of this. I've ended up liking this deck. Initially, I thought, oh my gosh, there's too many words, whatever. I like it because it helps us see things that we need to. Pathwork, I think that is, Pathwork Oracle. I'll put links after this is live. Okay, relationships could also be interfering with the energy of wealth. So you're trying to focus on something, but the people that you love are kind of like coming forth and needing more in this period of time. So you'll have to find balance in your relationships and in your sort of like projects or focal points right now, okay? So let's take a moment. We'll drill down a little bit deeper into this. We're going to look at those of you that have a job, and we're going to try to go into that mirror ball. What are you missing in this moment in time? We can often be our own worst enemies. The Ten of Swords here is fear of failure, but I'm not necessarily seeing that. I see the ability here for you to actually get what you're seeking. The Knight of Pentacles can accomplish something, but I think the biggest challenge this week is no clear leadership, a lot of different opinions, and maybe you have so many things on your plate that you just are like, I don't know what to do. So the Tower can be disorganization too. Typically, it would be being disorganized. Like if I'm looking at the environment and I see it there, I'm like, you need to clean the house or you need to have a plan. And I think going into this week, we're not seeing the plan because this is the past and this is affecting everything here. So what's the plan? What's the action plan? What's the change plan in this moment in time? The sooner you have that, the sooner you know that, the sooner things are going to move in the right direction, okay? What else? As we talked about earlier, try to avoid unnecessary conflict. And I think working on your own for part of this week anyway could be effective. Definitely whenever the Five of Wands energy presents itself. Learning from past mistakes, really important as well. And some of you have one foot out the door. We have the World and we have the Blasted Oak or the Tower. And this is just saying, I see the writing on the wall and I don't want to do that. So this is a matter of looking beyond and deciding, am I moving up? Am I moving out? Am I moving on? And if you don't have the support that you need to get to the next level or to kind of go through this, you don't have to make your decision now. Eight of Cups is actually saying, give it at least a week or so, but you might be deciding, I need to look beyond this, or you're planning for retirement, or something like that. You're saying, I am ready to veer in a different direction right now, okay? So give yourself a week and take the break that you need because your emotions right now are clouding your judgment just a little bit. So I like that you're thinking big picture. I like that you're maybe thinking beyond this moment, but there's too much emotions, there are too many, I should say, present right now to think clearly. And I think the important thing here is to take a step back. And next week, you'll have a little bit more clarity. Let's look at some other things here. Oh, the seer at the center, one last thing. I actually just feel that you might be in a place where your ideas, insights, or perception gets lost or muddled. And so remember what we had this week with the star energy. That's your moment to step into the spotlight. The Four of Wands, leaning into the energy of the support of others. The Ace of Swords, writing it down or setting it into motion. You might have to just do it yourself. And maybe, what is that phrase like? Act now, apologize later. You might have to just show them that it's possible and then say, oh, I'm sorry, I meant to talk to you about this. But by the way, we're doing fabulously here. Trust in what you see. Your vision won't lead you astray. Let's move on to entrepreneurs. Okay, entrepreneurs, I think it's time. It's time to restructure. By the way, I meant to say this. Some of you might be, this also holds true for those that are employed. There could be restructuring going on, and that might be part of the reason that you're ready to move on, move up, or move out. But entrepreneurs in particular, some of you might be thinking, you know what, I've done everything that I set out to do. In order for me to move forward, I have to change. So you might be restructuring, reorganizing your business. There's one employee or one customer or one client that is not happy. That needs to be dealt with so that it doesn't derail other things. It will be fine. It looks like they just want a little bit more time, energy, or money. If someone wants a return, give them a return. If someone is burnt out, give them a break, give them a vacation, or it might be time to give them a promotion. But if someone's negative, that also needs to be sorted out. And let them know what the boundaries and expectations are. So we want to transmute that. That's a little trouble area that can be fixed. But someone wants something, and giving them that will typically assuage this. Other things outside of that. Really looking at what you want to do and conveying that vision to others. What is the vision of the brand? For the group that you're working with, what is the vision for this company together? And then how can we get better cooperation? You have a lot of independent people working for you. What I'm not seeing is a cohesive focal point. You might also be spreading yourself too thin. This can be avoided. Burnout. We need to delegate better. There may be some things that aren't worth time and energy. Sort that out, and that will help you. I do like the 9 of Cups and the 8 of Cups. You can accomplish what your vision is here. This is the vision. This is the reality. This is the sort of fulfillment of it. And it has the ability to go the distance. But there's too much distraction, particularly when it comes to people. Because these are all people cards. And it's almost hard for me to kind of see how it all connects. So I feel like you need to get organized in your business and your business plan and how you're communicating with clients and also employees or vendors, okay? Job seekers, can you find something right now? Yes, but there's competition for sure. Yes, but I don't know if you're clear on what it is that you're trying to do. I know that there had been times in my life where I was so eager to find something that I started to cast a net that was too wide. And when you cast a very wide net, typically the applications aren't as strong. You don't want some of the things that you're applying for. And it starts to get muddled. It starts to get watered down. So it would be better to be razor focused and do an application per day rather than 10, 20, or 100. But we are in a weird world now where there's a lot of AI. There's a lot of stuff out there. But okay, so by the way, I finally found an apartment and I'll be moving a month from now. But one thing that I had to do was just release the need to find the perfect place or whatever. And then finally I found something. It wasn't available, but I liked the agent. We found something else and I was like, okay, that's good. When I stopped trying, it just kind of happened. And I wasn't driving around for hours or sending out I set aside a couple of hours. I'd made a couple of calls, and I did a couple of these per day because I wasn't feeling well. And finally, that paid off. Less is more. I wasn't kind of like overworking myself. So anyway, whether you're looking for a job, looking for a place, or looking for a relationship, sometimes if you try too much, too often, too hard, you end up just kind of like flooding yourself with these options. I'd rather you be a little bit more razor focused. And yeah, the place actually inside looks amazing. We won't have this view, but it's amazing and saves me some money. It's still in my neighborhood. It hit all of the boxes, but it's actually newer. It looks newer. They just renovated it. So I'm actually waiting for it to be fully constructed, or I would have moved on the 1st. So around the 22nd or something of next month, I'll be moving. So I'm going to try to get this all cut up and everything and take my time in the move. And then my goal there is to be there until I need to be there, until I'm ready to make a move. So, okay. So that's one lesson, is try not to spread yourself too thin in the application process. I see one option that is not worth it. It's probably the one that's attached to more money. So Page of Pentacles is attached to the Ten of Swords. So this is a burnout job. I see one that is seasonal or temporary. It does have, it might even be more money than this in the long run, but it's not predictable. So you may not be looking for a contract job, but I do see a contract job. I like it better than this one. The difference is this one looks like full-time. This one looks like part-time. I would take the organic contract job where it's not like you're signing an employment contract. I think this one's a little bit better, like a full-time job with benefits. You know what I'm talking about. So even though you don't have the benefits on this one, it may last a while. It's better than the burnout one. Really pay attention to leadership and corporate culture wherever you're getting your job. The other thing here is keep looking. I mean, I do see with the seer here that there's something that you're really looking for. It's your Goldilocks option. So try not to take something that doesn't feel right. So of these two, if there's one that has the money but you don't like it and it's probably going to burn you out, it probably would be better to take this contract one, because contracts can usually be broken, or if it's an at-will employment and it's like either of you can decide at any point. This will put money in your pocket and you can still look for something. So I feel like there might be something that's seasonal, temporary, but it could lead to something more, even full-time employment in the long run. So don't discount that. Moving on to students. There's a lot. Students, I do feel with this, there's a teacher, because actually this is very interesting. There's a teacher that's hard on you, but they're trying to do it for the right reasons. Their techniques may leave a lot to be desired. So it reads instruction. The Ten of Swords is a card of pain. So someone may be pushing you more than you're normally used to being pushed. And you may feel like, I just failed, or it's not working. Talk to them. Let them know how much is enough, because they may not realize that they're being too hard on you. But I do feel like there's an instructor that's purposely trying to break down some of your sort of habits to help you work smarter or better. I think I've talked about this before, but my undergraduate is like writing, English, etc. And in school, I always typically got an A in all of the English classes. But my final year of high school, I had an advanced placement English test, which helps you get like college credit for it. So the teacher that was teaching that class was very, very hard. And I remember the first quarter, I think I got, it was either a B or a B minus. I'm like, what? But I learned so much and I worked so hard. And when I actually did get like if I went from a B minus to a B plus or an A minus, that A minus was like A plus 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 plus. It was like the best grade I ever got, because it was so hard in that class. But I learned how to do research papers. I learned to defend my opinion in a way that was based on data and information. And I had to write really, really well. They didn't have this person used to be a lawyer. And so they were an English teacher that was a lawyer. And so they were very keen on following the rules. So I learned so much from that person. And I didn't mind the fact that I didn't get a good grade, because it made me a better writer. So sometimes they are trying to break down that feeling of entitlement And dare I say, I probably had that. I was used to it. And they were like, this is good. It could be better. This isn't probably your best. And if you're trying to get an advanced placement, you're going to have to do better to get that point, to get to. So they prepared me for the rejection that is the real world. So there might be a teacher that's trying to do that for you. And if you can see that part of it, it may not feel so much like they have it out for you. Maybe they don't. Maybe they don't. When you're doing or studying something that you really, really love, you know, the sky is the limit. So I always like to encourage students, and by the way, this can be non-traditional students, students of any age. So you could be going back to school, and all of this could make sense for you. But make sure you love what you're doing and try to have some fun and drink it in. Be super present in this moment. If I could go back into my younger self, 18 to 25, when I was kind of like going through college and all of that, I would just say, have some fun. No one's going to care about all of this minutia, the sort of like the little points, grade point average, all of that. As you get older, no one cares. When you go through a job application process, they just typically see did you get your degree. And when I was thinking of going overseas, all they wanted was, they didn't want my transcripts. They just wanted an apostille stamped diploma. So at the end of the day, most people just care, did you go through it and what are you going to do with it? So I'm going to ask you, what is your vision for yourself? Because that is going to help. I see a lot of, it's almost like I'm looking at someone with a general major or someone that's trying to decide. So those of you that are trying to decide what's next or what you're taking next semester, I see so many options in front of me. I think it's important to lean into the love. What do you love? What would you love to do for the next 20 to 30 years? That's the most important thing that you can focus on right now. And then don't take failure too seriously, and don't let one teacher get under your skin, and know that there might be someone that's being hard on you for a reason. Have some boundaries with them, have a conversation with them, see why they're doing it. If you need to move in a different direction, do it. But I did pick up on tough love coming through, because literally this is tough and this is love. So be easier on yourself, by the way. I feel like you're doing just fine. And I do get this feeling of like, when are we there? Are we done yet? The Five of Wands is very much kind of like in the throes of all of that. Okay? Retirees. Okay, this is fear for retirees. It's like health related. Take care of yourself, obviously. But I'm not picking up on presenting issues. I will say it didn't come through in health, but it's coming through now. And it's coming through for retirees. Don't overdo it. Even with the fun. And it does hit your older body in a different way. Caffeine, alcohol, or any substance. It takes longer for the body to process. You can only do half of what you used to. So be kinder to your body and have some more fun in life, but a different like enjoyment, like activity based, maybe less with caffeine, alcohol, or nicotine or whatever it is. The body can't process it like it used to. It's time to have more enjoyment. So again, really picking people, places, and opportunities wisely as to like what you're going to invest your time and energy into. Change is a common theme through everyone this week, but it's coming to my attention more for retirees. You may be downsizing, selling your house. There might be so much going on with family that you also feel like I need a little bit of space, or I feel disconnected from it. It's like one end or the other. Breathe and get your feet on the ground and decide, what do I need to change this week? Or beyond that, like the year ahead as well. Like me, some of you might have had a really difficult health situation. It's just about done, but it's not quite. Ask for some support if you need that, okay? There's a lot of people that want to connect with you. They're looking for expertise. So if you want to step into that role, you can do it. But I also feel very much this desire to have some privacy, to have some space for yourself. So by all means, do that if you need to, okay? All right. Why don't we move on? Love and relationships. We have the ancestor spirit, white eagle, coming through. Connect to your lineage. A family wound or pattern can be healed now. Absolutely. We had the Five of Pentacles coming through earlier, and I talked about that being something from the past, someone that made you feel like you couldn't, but you can. Ancestral healing is possible now too. One thing that I've leaned into at this stage in my life, particularly since my parents are gone, if there's certain things that I've figured out, sometimes it's almost like I'll upload that to them. Hey, why don't we just release this so none of us have to deal with this in any sort of situation again? And when I was going through some of this healing, I tried to do an ancestral healing too. So from time to time, if you want, you can kind of like send this beam of love and support through every part of your lineage, particularly if you've overcome something. That is also something that's in practical magic, which I love. At the very end, there's an ancestral healing that affects all past, all present, and all future generations. And it's really cool if you want to break a cycle, by the way, to do that. I changed this for all of my past, present, and future lifetimes for all dimensions and directions. Like, we are done with this. We have learned it. I dismiss it. I don't ever need or want to have to re-experience this, particularly if there was great pain. I learned the lesson, and I beam it in all directions. As I said, I've had experiences where the future version of me beams it backwards because maybe I've started doing this now. So he will say, don't do this. And he'll often tell me something that I don't want to hear. You're going to get tired. You're going to get sick. This is going to break you. Don't do it. I'm like, oh, okay, I guess I won't do that. So you can do it for yourself. And if you start doing it now, future versions and alternate they'll start to say, oh, wait, we can do this? Let's do this. Your intuition will grow. So you can send the information to the ancestors, to your different timelines, so that everyone benefits. So look for this great, amazing person, place, or thing. Avoid this one, blinking red sign, caution note. Beam it out there. I don't think we do this enough. That way, all of you, because we really do have alternate dimensions, and because every time you make a choice, there's a version of you that didn't make that choice. Let's help them all. Let's help all of the multiplicity versions of yourself out there in these different timelines to make the right choices. Maybe we can all bring them together at some point. But that's kind of what I'm picking up on. I don't know why because it's the mirror ball. We're going deeper today. All right, if you're in a relationship, let's take a look at this. The seer energy at the center is quite good, okay? It shows a perceptive and an empathetic energy. We need to look at this for sure. Just hold some space for someone. You don't have to fix them. I love you, and I'm sorry you're going through this. What can I do? That's it. I'm not offering you advice. I'm not trying to make it all better. I'm asking you, what do you need from me? Not in that tone, though, but more like, I love you and I care for you. How can I help you? That's much kinder, not what you need from me. That's harsh. How can I show up to help you is a very kind way. Do you need a hug? Do you want me to go out there and give that person a hard time? Do you need me to help you research it? What can I do for you? Because there's a lot of things, but I need to know what you want and what you need. And if anyone ever says, you should know, say, let's be kind here. I'm actually trying to be polite and help you out with this. So if that maybe just need to take a step back, just say, when you're ready to talk, I'm here, but this isn't constructive. I never think it's good to expect someone to know it. If they ask, tell them, and then tell them why it's frustrating that they didn't know it. But don't say you should go focus on it. That is actually just adding more fire to this sort of situation. So if someone asks, they care enough to know, let them know. Set it all out in front of them. Here's my expectations. Here's what I need. Then if they don't do it, that's a different conversation. But I think it's really good if someone cares enough to ask, how can I be the support that you need? Okay. Things could be really good. Things could be really challenging. The thing that is going to exacerbate or make that more intense is change. Change of job, change of relationship status, getting married, getting separated, whatever you're going with the relationship. This can be positive. This can be challenging. It's kind of up to the two of you where you want to go with that. Communicating is key. I think some people need to mind their business. I see a lot of different family members and people stepping into this. It's the two of you that matter most. If someone lashes out and says something really unkind, breathe and say, where did that come from? First of all, that hurt, but what's going on here? You can redirect it and completely neutralize this conversation. Say, that's not you. That's something else. What's going on? Then, instead of reacting to the words, you're going to the source and saying, how can I help you? I know something's going on. I hope you don't really mean what you just said. I think something else is going on. You've just set a boundary, like, you hurt me, but I'm still here to help you. That's this. Later, you can have a conversation like, don't do that again. That really hurt. But not so much in the moment. First, find out why it's going on. If everything's good, there may be a lot changing and moving around you. One of you could be in a situation where there's something environmentally coming through that's creating stress or frustration. And so together, it'd be a great time to take a trip or break. I think it's just important to have open communication. There are challenges this week. There's nothing here that makes me overly concerned. This is mutable. This is transmutable, okay? But it does require like just open communication, okay? Single and looking, can you find love? Absolutely. So many options here. Let's talk about it a little bit. Really focus on how you're manifesting your partner. And it's not so much about looks, it's more about attributes. I'm ready for a person that wants this, that has done this work, or that is, leading this kind of life. Because I see like this cornucopia of options. One of them could be head over heels. But I get that this is a physical connection. Page of Wands, it's physical, but it doesn't have like the legs to go the distance. I see another one, Knight of Swords. Not so sure about that one because this person isn't ready to move as quickly as you want to. It's in reverse. Another one here that may just, I want to say they're a little they're focused on themselves and they can say things unintentionally hurtful. There's someone around you that already has your back. So what you're looking for might just be within reach. And there's also like this past connection here. So too many options. I think in this situation, you need to breathe this week, take a moment and decide what you're looking for. And if you say there's no one there, I actually do see someone there, like an air sign. But maybe it's someone that you see more in a friendship role. But there's support, there's love. I think in this moment in time, even though you're looking for love, there's a lack of focus. So take a look at what you've been doing. Take a look at some familial patterns and change it up a little bit. The Eight of Cups and that Knight of Pentacles in the outcome could also represent when you decide to move in a new direction, when you decide to move in a new path, that's when the magic starts to happen, okay? Single and happy. So for single and happy, good for you. In this period of time, creative energy is coming through, the seer. So I would love for you to take an idea, a dream, or a vision and trust it a little bit more and believe that your wish is going to come true. You may need to move in order for this to happen, or move around your schedule. You may need to collaborate in order for this to happen. Also, I think if you have the time, capacity, or ability, take a break and get your perspective. That Eight of Cups will happen when you slow down long enough to look at things from a different angle. Okay. Let's look at destiny. And then, by the way, I see we made our goal. I didn't even notice because I was so enthralled with this. So we will look at cord cutting at the end. Thank you, guys. Okay. Heart of the moment. I feel like this is connected to this. Sorry, if we put it in the upright position. Passion, dream fulfillment, all of that sort of heavy emotion here. And if we look closely, we can see that there are people there. Kind of hard to see. I also get this sort of like an outline of a bear in the background, or even a raccoon. But the bear is interesting because it's an awakening, like going out of hibernation, it feels like, and waking up. The raccoon energy is also interesting because it is a sort of scrappy, resourceful, nocturnal energy. So something that you least expect, it's like right there, asking for you to pay attention to it. So don't forget to look around. The raccoon energy is saying could be Seven of Swords with the raccoon, but it could also be someone that's trying to get your attention, that's trying to come into your periphery. And the bear is this sort of energy of waking up after a very long period of stagnation. Your heart and all of this is starting to wake up and is trying to be seen. It's like one of those ink blot things, but can you see it? It could be a raccoon, more like a raccoon, but it could also be a bear, because when I looked at it further back, but more raccoon-like. It's kind of interesting. I don't know if they did that intentionally or if I'm just seeing it, but I see it. All right, and I work with totems, so the raccoon is very interesting. One thing that I do like about them is they find a way to get in that trash can. They find a meal if they need it. So whatever it is that's in front of you that's a little bit challenging, you can find a way. Let's pull one final card here for this portion of it. This would be technically a big idea. So we want to connect this one to the mirror ball. What is it that you're not seeing? Then we're going to go into the bonus stuff, which you guys enabled right now. Okay, so mirror ball that's hanging above us. What do we need to see? What are we missing? What's the important perspective? Okay, lots and lots of swords coming through here. So the Nine of Swords is not the stress-related one that we normally see. This would be a nocturnal card with all the swords above the person. They're feeling like they can't go to sleep. They're worrying about everything. This is the morning after. She's picking up all the swords that littered her dreams or that were there the night before, and she's like, what was I worried about? She's getting reconnected to her goal or her path, and it's going to be all right. You know, I always wonder, like, I love the Hunger Games. I'm like, Katniss, why aren't you picking up all of these? Who gives you the arrows? You always seem to have enough arrows. I always wonder. Or like Legolas in Lord of the Rings. Where are these magical arrows coming from? Because once they're done, it's going to be empty. So there has to be a reset moment here too. So take a moment to pick up the pieces from this change, from this moment. Take a moment to recharge or refill, and then see if you don't see something from a different perspective the next morning. It always is scary when the lights are off, when you can't see what's coming, but the next day, whether it's sunshine or rain or fog, the sun rises every single day. And it will for a few billion years until it becomes a red giant. So we've got some time. You've got some time. Let it be a reset each and every morning. Okay. Speaking of that, thank you. We have a second thing that we're going to look at today. So to everybody that contributed to the bonus, I appreciate you. I was hoping we would do this too. So when there's something that's that close, or if you guys like this, we'll continue to do different things. Sometimes it might be healing, or sometimes I'll put a poll up. But I kind of like the ability for us to do something different at the end. Okay. Just creating some space. Sorry, Apollo. Okay. Let me see what I want to use for this. Okay. Let's take a moment now and see what we're holding on to. We're going to start by looking at anchors. What's holding us down or holding us back? Okay. And then I want to look at cords. Who or what are we tied to? Let's just do those two to start with. Okay. So we'll begin with the anchors. We have the Justice card, and she is reversed. Justice in the reverse position is a decision. I don't want this. I need to say no. I need to rectify this injustice by advocating for myself. Justice reverse is trickier and more difficult because it's like shaking the tree. It's making, like, causing a little bit of disruption, but it's necessary. If we look really closely at this, we can see the heart, which is often a piece of the Justice card. Usually a heart and a feather, the weighing of the heart at the end of your days in like Egyptian mythology. If the heart was as light as the feather, you could go on to the afterworld. So living a life that allows your heart to feel light, feel bright, feel supported. Interestingly enough, the love card came through in work, in resources, in your life purpose and career. So is that making your heart light or heavy? I know that when I used to have a more traditional path, it made my heart feel heavy. So I had to go into something where my heart would feel light. Because if your heart feels heavy, it has to work harder. You have to work harder, but it also wears it out a little bit. So from like a health perspective, it's not good to do something that gives you a heavy heart. Staying in a relationship where you're not supported. Doing a job that doesn't feel right. Putting too much sort of lack of support on yourself, whether you don't love or accept yourself, you have to eventually get into that energy or your heart says enough is enough. So speaking up for yourself, saying no, and creating better balance and equilibrium. I need more of this so that I can feel happy. And not putting too much energy into the cognitive part. Like, I feel like we might be overthinking things a little bit. So Justice is encouraging you to do what's right, to cut the cords where necessary. And I asked where the cord might be. And this is really interesting. So Queen of Pentacles tends to be parental energy. It's not always, but we'll start with that. If there is someone in your life that steps into that paternal maternal role, boundaries, that's the most important thing. And it's not always on purpose. It could also just be they want you so much to be protected and supported that it's like they won't let you out of the nest or won't let you kind of make your mistakes or make your own choices. So let them know that you're okay. Let them know that you need and want this independence. And just like I was talking about in the daily, where the lovers were two birds flying in the air, you have to have room to spread your wings. The other thing that this can represent is money, power, or ownership. And if it is something like intellectual property, if it is, again, a power struggle for like ideas or vision, one thing, these are not accidentally pulled at the same time. You may have to protect yourself legally because justice is legal. And you might have to say, this is what I have, this is what you have. So creating that delineation, or you're just separating and saying, I'm going to take this and move forward. Also, how committed are you to what it is that you're working on? If the commitment isn't there, it's time to release it. Okay? All right. What can you do in this period of time to really focus on feeling free? Because the opposite of anchors, the opposites of sort of like cords in your life would be this feeling of liberation. So what is it that you need to do to step in and to embrace this sort of sense of liberation in your life? So now we have the Lovers, but it is reversed, where it's all coming full circle. It's the daily card. All right, let's talk about it. So we see the angel in this version of it. The connection should feel natural. The connection shouldn't be forced. And any sort of partnership, a job, a love relationship, a friendship, doctor, whoever is there to help you and love you and support you, it needs to be reciprocated and unconditional. If there is someone that says, if you love me, you'll do this, this is transactional. The Queen of Pentacles typically is a mothering card, but it can also be a transactional card. If you were like this or did this or looked like this or married this person or accomplished this, I'd love you more. Well, that's not cool. You should love me the way that I am. But anybody can step into that role, a friend, a partner. I mean, it makes sense when you're at a job. It's transactional. Those situations are more transactional. But in all other walks of life, you are enough. And you should be enough. And it may make someone proud, but it shouldn't affect the quality or quantity of their love. That should be a constant. You can say I'm really proud, like, but don't put measurements on the love. The love should always be there in those sorts of situations. And at the very least, it should be equal, greater than or equal. And so in this situation, you can and should receive greater than or equal amounts of love and support. And if you're not, look at these situations and these relationships or situationships in that situation, if we're going to use that word. And is it enough? Am I getting enough? And if you're not, advocate for more. And if you're not, justice reverse is about moving in a new direction, okay? What do I need to focus on here? Okay, is there something to kind of tie this into what we were looking at earlier that you're missing that is holding you back? So now we're not looking so much at an anchor, but I want to look at mental. Is there a mental block or anchor that's holding you back? Okay, so we have 8 of Wands. No, the only thing that this card can represent is getting so lost in the shuffle that you forget who you are, as we see this mask in the 8 of Wands. 8 of Wands is very good. Typically, like rockets flying through the air. In the reverse position, you can become so connected or enthralled in something that you forget who you are. And so regaining connection with yourself and letting everybody else pick up the slack if they need to as well is going to be really important here. Okay, so with these blocks removed that we've just talked about, what does the universe have in store for you? So we have the High Priestess coming through saying, first of all, many of you already know what it is you're trying to accomplish. Trust that it can happen. Emperor card, basically saying it's time to, you're the one pulling the strings instead, literally, instead of someone pulling the strings on you. The cards or the table it's turned. So this is the reverse of that Devil card that I got way back at the beginning of the reading. But also, let's not repeat what the devil has done to us. Let's give people the freedom and the ability to do what they need to do. And the tables will turn. You will have your moment. 6 of Pentacles is really interesting. It's asking you to quantify what is enough, because this is yet another card of balance. And the reversal of this card is a reminder not to overextend yourself, but also sometimes enough is enough. Like you don't need everything. If you have a little bit of this, a little bit of this, it's like, now I can breathe. I'm not feeling tapped out. So you may find that happy medium and you may figure out like that's enough. So when is enough enough? As we're looking at someone fill up the cup, that's really what I'm getting here is know when you've had your fill and know when there's like diminishing returns. Because sometimes when you get more, you feel like it's less because you don't have as much free time. You don't have as much sort of like, you might be losing the integrity because you have to give up so much to get something. So the trade-offs are coming through as something really important. But I love High Priestess and Emperor. You can see it through and then just decide how much you need, how much you want, okay? Thank you for allowing me to look at that extra piece. The Queen of Pentacles is really interesting. Someone may try to quantify or pressure you into doing like what love is or how much you need to do in order to get the love or support. You don't. And let's do a quick meditation and then we will wrap up for today. This is a little bit longer, but I feel like we needed it and it's okay. And I haven't been as present as I needed to be, so I'm showing up on the weeklies and then we'll get caught up on everything else. Okay, take a moment, please. Close your eyes. Let go of anything that you might have brought into this reading, anything that you might have gained that you just feel like I'm feeling overwhelmed, all this stuff. We're just going to clear the mind, clear the head. We're going to do a little bit of cord cutting in the process as well. Okay, imagine that you are seated in a forest. The trees are around you in a perfect circle. The sun is above you, and you are in this bright white light energy, almost like a liminal space, like between worlds. In this liminal space and at the edge of the forest, you can see past versions of yourself, past relationships, ghosts from the past. And as you start to connect with the solar energy above you, imagine that your heart is beaming with this beautiful, bright light, golden energy shining in all directions, shining on all of the ghosts of the past, all of the potential for the future, anything that anchored you, anything that irritated you, anything that inspired you. Imagine now that as this light is beaming in all directions, dimensions, and timelines, that you share with your higher self and these different versions the lessons learned. And in this moment in time, to the people and the experiences that cause pain, say the following: thank you for the lesson, and I dismiss you. I no longer require the lessons you provide. You no longer have dominion or influence on my energy or on my soul. With love and light, I release the connection to you. See them fade away. Imagine that the light evaporates those ghosts. They were never really there. It was just in your mind. It was just a past connection that no longer needs to be there. To the people in the present that are testing your boundaries, that are difficult, that lack integrity, shine a light on them and say, I see you. I see what you're doing. And you do not have permission to continue to do this in my life in this moment in time. Ask your guides to light a path to either resolve the conflict or to help you move in a new and better and healthier direction. See their cords connected to you evaporate. They're still here, but their power and their influence on you is gone. And they no longer have this ability to get into your headspace, nor your ability to get into their headspace. You are liberated, you are free, and you are free agents to move in the direction that you need. And you can say to them too, I see you. I see what you've been doing, and I need something better in my life. Ask your guides, your angels, and your higher self to help you make stronger connections. And to the Four of Wands moment that awaits you, the shadow, or let's not use shadow, the glimmer of what's possible. See that walking towards you, something shining on the horizon, something amazing, something beautiful, something wonderful. Open your heart to receive that abundance, that glimmer of possibility. Take a deep breath and imagine, just like a star coming into its first moment of shining, that you are so bright, so brilliant now that only your light is present. You are not distracted. You are not held back by any sort of shadow that might have once blocked your path. Allow yourself now to move forward. Okay, we'll look at one last card. If there's one final question and you need some guidance on it, go ahead and ask that now. And then we're going to take a look at the final question for today. I'm sorry, we're going to take a look at the gratitude portion. We're in the final question. Four of Pentacles, the devil you know. If you ask me a yes or no, it's a no. The Four of Pentacles tells me that it's not enough, or that you're holding back. So pause. Look at something from a different perspective, as we've been doing, and saying, why am I so attached to this? Is there not something else around me? Or why am I accepting less than I'm worth? It's time to ask for a little bit more. The receipts aren't adding up, and you are worth it, okay? Sometimes we protect ourselves and we're afraid to show who we are. This is a moment to step into your truth, integrity, and higher self. All right. Thank you, everybody. We had a great reading today, and we made it to that target goal, and I appreciate that. I'd like to take a couple of moments today to express some gratitude. So let me go ahead and pull up the everybody that gave back today, and I just want to say thanks. Okay, so first of all, I know not everybody can, so thank you for just being present. By the way, show some love and support if you'd like to. If you just want to give a thumbs up or subscribe, that would make my day as well. So thank you in advance. But on to the gratitude. All right, there's a lot of people to thank today. I'm going to do my best to move through this quickly. All right. Heather, thank you so much for your sticker, also for being a member. I appreciate you, and I'm glad that you got the message that you needed. K and X 420, thank you for your contribution. I'm glad that this made it all the way to Milwaukee. DS 4008, thank you very much for your support. Same thing to Mel 305, to PZ 94923, to Renee Smith, 7825, thank you very much. Appreciate all of the stickers that you guys are giving. And Walk, thank you very much. Thanks also for being a member. Let's see. Jackie DeVilliers, thank you very much for your sticker and for being a member. Net Chicks, same for you as well. Thank you for the sticker and for your membership. PJ, wow, thank you for such a generous sticker. I see you, I appreciate you, and I also notice that you're a member too. Thank you. Someone just upgraded to a star member, which is an amazing contribution. Thank you to, let's see, is it Dar Sevilla? Dar, I think it is. Thank you very much. Colette, thank you for being a member and for showing support here with the sticker. Same thing for Sharon and Colette. I see and appreciate you. Jackie, 56 months. Look at all the points on that crown. That's amazing. I'm glad that the clarity came through here, and as a fellow Libra that you appreciated and received the overstimulated piece. I'm glad that that came through. Casey and Bloom, thank you for sending a membership to someone else and for being a member. PJ Good, thank you for 2 stickers in a row. I appreciate that. Also for the membership. And you helped me make the goal. I can see that because you gave consistent 199 ones. So thank you so much for helping us reach the goal today. Happy Thanksgiving to you too, Popcorn. I appreciate you. I've seen you for a long time here, so thanks for always showing up. Leslie, thanks for your sticker. PJ, again, for helping us get to that goal. So many stickers. Colette, thank you as well for your sticker and for being a member. And I think this is like your second one too. Casey and Bloom, thank you. Again, membership and sticker. A lot of you were helping me get to the goal for today. All the repeated one. Thank you again, PJ Good. And also, I noticed you were number 1 for chatting today, so thanks for being at the top of the leadership or leaderboard. Also, number 2 on the leaderboard is Water Girl. Thank you for your kind contributions, and I'm glad that you enjoy the daily read too. They help me as well, believe it or not, so it's good for all of us. Esmeralda, thank you for your sticker. Same thing with I Am Cat, PJ Good again, QZ422, Monica Fontana, PJ Good one more time, really making us get to that final. Thank you to everybody that gave multiple times. You're the reason that we had that extra 15 minutes at the end. Marianne, thank you. Let's see, Netchick, thank you for gifting a membership. I appreciate you. PJ, again, you're probably the single person that helped us get to that goal. Thank you. DAS, thank you for your kind contribution as well. Deborah Bobila, thank you. Heather, thank you for sharing a membership and being a member. Jill Sheets, thank you for 39 months. Get out of town. That's amazing. Yolanda, for your sticker, thank you very much. Same thing to Cindy. Let's see, we have another person celebrating an anniversary here, Renee Smith, for 34 months. That's amazing. And I loved that you enjoy the community here. Me too. Sunny, thank you for your gratitude and for your contribution. Let's see. Created by Deanne, thank you for your sticker. And finally, at the very end of all of this, thank you to, is it Soy Maya? Soy Maya, I think it is. Oh, so I Am Maya. Thank you very much. Good to have you here as well. And that brings us to a close for today. I will be wrapping up the monthlies. We will probably go back to a regular monthly in December. We'll see. I might truncate it a bit so that I can get through them all quickly, maybe doing a very abbreviated version of the expanded or just cutting it so that you can get them all faster and I can get them done before the move. I'm changing up the monthly from month to month, so change is good. Let's lean into it. Thank you for your patience, your kindness, and thanks for being the best part of what I do here on YouTube. Let's end with a little pat on the head for Apollo, who has joined us once more. All right, buddy. Hey, you're looking so fluffy here in the background. Yes, you are. Are you a good boy? Yes, you are, buddy. Thank you so much. He's a little bit out of camera, but he's chilling in the background. All right, guys, take care. Much love and light. Thank you, Dakota, for your help as well. I hope everybody has a great week ahead. And we'll do something as we go towards the holiday next week for Thanksgiving for those of us in the U.S. But I think we'll do something with gratitude. It makes sense. So it doesn't matter if you celebrate it or not. We'll lean into a gratitude reading. Until then, wishing you all the best. See you soon. Bye-bye.